Who we got in the chat? Oh, Revster, D-Man Fitty, Matt Downer, Phil D. Good to see you guys. I've been thinking about this topic for the last day or two. Jesse James. I was fascinated with Jesse James as a youngster. My dad talked about him a lot. And I remember seeing the wanted posters and everything. And it was always fascinating how this outlaw, train robber, stagecoach robber, killer was so, I don't want to say the word honored, but, was never forgotten. There's shrines, there's books, there's movies. They have a Jesse James Foundation. Now, whatever you think about him, if he was a modern day Robin Hood, if he took from the rich to give to the poor, or he was just a thug outlaw, whatever the case is, he is infamous. He lives in infamy. I don't even know if that's a word. But you think about it. Him and Billy the Kid and Cherokee Bill, Bloody Bill Anderson, Butch Cassidy, Pretty Boy Floyd, Al Capone. Everybody remembers them. And so let me see if I can string this all together. Bad boys are never forgotten. Good guys are. And that is why when I put Jesse James in female nature, remember, when the female has that alpha, the bad boy, the gangster, the thug, the tough one, the gangsta, she becomes an alpha widow and she can never forget that person. Now here comes a nice guy, wants to be the boyfriend. That nice guy is always forgotten. The bad boys are always remembered forever and ever and ever. Imprinted in their mind. Even though the dude was not, he was an alpha drug dealer, ex-felon, you name it, thief. It's the same thing. They're never forgotten. Bad boys are never forgotten. So I thought about that, just thinking, man, it's the good guys are never remembered. It's always the bad guys. Everybody remembers. 150 years later, Billy the Kid, Butch Cassidy, Bonnie and Clyde. There's movies about it. Movies and movies and movies. It's crazy. Is Polskin here yet? Stop waffling, says Cesar. Indy MGTOW's in the house. Good to see you. Phil, Matthias, HTO Kid, Rev, The Thug Life. There you go. Putting it up there. But think about it. They do not forget the bad boys. So there you go. That's why nice guys finish last. That's why nice guys are never given credence or precedence. There's nothing to remember. It's the people that are out there, being alpha, breaking rules. Women love rule breakers. They really do. Mr. Hemmy's back. Good to see you, brother. Matthias says there is a documentary on Hitler nearly every day. There's TV shows about on History Channel about the Nazis and where they went. Cheaper groceries, awesome content, still swinging heavy, rad. Appreciate y'all being here in the chat. Brandon Trueblood, good to see you again. What else we got? But that's where we're at. I mean, that is why when people go, female nature, they don't like nice guys. That's why you just don't do it for them. Why do you think there's so many folks on death row that have multiple marriage proposals? The worst of the worst that are sitting on death row. Scott Peterson, who's the guy in Colorado that Chris Watts. All of these guys have hundreds, if not thousands, of women writing them, wanting to marry them. So who married those the Menendez brothers? I don't know if you guys remember the Menendez brothers. Both of those two got married. They killed their parents. I mean, this is what we're talking about. The bad boys are always remembered. They're notorious. They live forever. right? Why do they love rule breakers? I think one of the reasons I think they like rule breakers is because there's some sort of strength within that. They feel like if the person breaks rules, he's not afraid, right? He's not afraid of protection. He's not afraid of going out. He's a daredevil in a way. I think that turns him on. Matthias says, I was the typical nice guy when I was in high school, but I didn't even notice it. Well, we're told sugar and spice and everything nice, right? We're told to be nice little boys, to be respectful. And I'm not saying go out and break rules. I'm saying, bad boys are the ones that are remembered, the outlaws, the gangsters. Brandon Trueblood says that dude was a whack job. And he had a girlfriend. Why didn't you just divorce the woman and the kids? It didn't make any sense. Psychopath. Eddie A's back. Good to see you. What's happening to Eddie? I think another is that they want to match their own energy, which is villainous and dark, says HDO Kid. Ooh, that's a good link. I would, the energy of the negative, mysterious outlaw gangster energy of these guys probably definitely links them to their Jezebel spirit, if you will. Well said. Gerald Montagna, they tell you how horribly their boyfriend treats them, and if you offer yourself as an upgrade, they go, ooh, or to call you a creep. Again, there is something about a strong badass that breaks rules. Tatted up, has been in jail. He's drug dealing. He's a drug dealer. He's a drunk. Tom Likas said, the guys that are booze hounds and drunks, that'll even help you intimidating some of these gals. They love projects. Maybe they think maybe there's something inside of a woman's psyche, that the nurturing part that wants to fix the bad boy, or just loves the fact that he's bad. Who knows? But it definitely goes together. Women like the bad boy because they love the drama. Correct. Remember, the emotional brain loves to be pulled both ways. So they love and happiness, and then they love fighting. And if you can pull them and always keep them on their toes, guess what? They're interested. If you're pulling them one way, you're nice, the next day you're not, and then the next day you're nice, and for 2 days you're nice, and then for 3 months you're bad, they don't know what to think. So you can definitely stretch their curiosity by just not having them not know anything. Everything's a new day, a new opportunity. The dopamine's there. Remember, they get bored easily. So if you're nice and doing all the nice things, guess what? You are not in her mentality, and she's bored, and she's going to monkey branch. When I tried to be a bad boy, I still didn't get the girls, Phil D. They could probably, if you tried, and in today's world, I think women are entitled princesses. That's even harder for the Chads and Tyrones and the bad boys. But the whole point was bad boys are never forgotten. The moment that girl, my aunt was 16 and she married a guy that knocked her up. I don't know. He was like 28 or something, 12 years older. She was 16, but he was a bad boy, rode for the Hells Angels, had a mustache, drunk, beat her up, and she stayed with him and still talks about Uncle Jim today. So something about the alpha widow, and she's been married 5 times. Go figure. Okay, let's see. Mr. Hemi 4-Speed, you can be anything now. You're right. Rev, Gloria, a Stefan song about them bad boys in the 80s. She said they made her feel so good. Something about the emotional brain that really attracts them. You can be anything but boring. There you go. So, go out, get some tattoos, go to jail a few times, and you'll get all the ladies, right? Is that what I'm saying? Yep. they probably knew it was. I don't know if you ever saw that movie Can't Buy Me Love, but Patrick Dempsey's in it, and he was a nerd, and then he tried to be cool, and then eventually that backfired. So check that movie out, Can't Buy Me Love. Bad boys provide the excitement. Nice guys are boring. There you go. Again, alpha widows. Once they have that bad boy, they can never go back. Shit test for 300 Trebek. That's where we're at. That's literally what I wanted to talk about. The fascination of outlaws and why they still live in infamy, and as as some of these bad boys that women have gone out with, and why a nice guy just doesn't do it for them, and there's nothing we can do about it. Human nature, it's female nature. Nice guys get bullied, says Matt. Yes, they do. Start dealing drugs, see what happens. Yeah, I know a gal who she was dating a known drug dealer. And I'm like, man, if you get caught, you're going to jail too. You're an accomplice. And this guy was like whacked. I mean, just a total thug drug dealer. And she was all about him. All about him. And she was married to a really successful guy that used to go on Fox News as a financial analyst and in California, and then moved out here, and she's dating a drug dealer. It's like, who would have thought? But she was so like enamored with this dude. It was the weirdest thing, and he was a total loser. But again, it's the rock stars in bands, right? It's the guys with long hair and leather jackets. It's the motorcycle guys. It's the appearance of strength. Is what I think, and that's why, and the mystery, and the guy that breaks the rules, and he's edgy. Philip Tesoro. I'm sure they can tell the difference between a genuine bad boy and the nice guys who are pretending to be one. Correct. Now, there's a difference between a nice guy and a good guy. A nice guy seeks external validation. A good guy does things because he cares about people. And, it's okay to open the door for an old lady. It's okay to pay somebody, to buy someone in front of you at Starbucks, pay it forward type thing. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're doing it for yourself and because, hey, you want to help. But it's the nice guys that are trying to get the attention through external validation, which is completely false. Those are the guys that snap, right? We've seen a bunch of those. Chris Guzman, good to have you. Totally tubular loco. Totally tubular. Valley girls. Mr. Hemi, nice guys don't stir the fifis. No, they don't. Polska Bob, quit waffling. You're waffling. Just being indifferent more can get more of what you want. Correcto Mundo. RP Anomaly. Where are you from? Less is more. A lot of the and nice guys talk a lot, but bad boys don't. They're very stoic, if not, not a lot of speech coming out of them. Be Free Asia, nature is brutal and merciless. When a lion hunts and kills a gazelle, does he say, I'm sorry for doing that? No, he does not. Big M, I'm considering becoming a psychopath. I'm bored with my life. Yeah, it's the moment you're just boring to people when you're nice. There's something inherently weird when the person's too nice. I got a friend, he's so nice, but I think people they write him off because I don't think they think he's there. He's serious. There's something about being too nice that throws women for the loop. I got a buddy, he cannot go on dates because he's just so nice. They always say to him, you're like the brother I never had. That's like the worst kind of compliment. You're like the brother I never had. Anyhow, so that's where we're at, that's the reality of life. From the viewpoint of RAD, Rebel Against Defeat, nice guys are forgotten, bad boys aren't. And any woman will say that's bullshit, but you know deep down it is. So that's where we're at. What are your favorite outlaws? There's some gnarly dudes back in the 1800s, man. Just learning about Bloody Bill Anderson and his gang. Woo. Apparently, they would massacre, kill a bunch of people that they didn't like, and cut their genitals off and shove them in their mouths when they were dead. Like gnarly stuff. I was watching a PBS documentary about that. Thank you, Polska. That was a good stream with Jonathan. Absolutely. Great guy. Glad you were there. Quit waffling. That's why I don't suffer from red pill rage. How can you be angry at something that's doing what it's genetically programmed to do? Stay away from lions and women. Don't feed the bears. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, guys reach out, but I'm a nice person. I'm not debating that you would be a great catch. You just don't tickle their fifi. Right? As Mr. Hemi says, I'm HDO Kid and I approve this message. Good for you. Check out, you guys, learn about some of these outlaws, why they still exist. Shrines and statues and books and people like literally become historians of these people. They're so fascinated. Even men like strong, edgy dudes that can daredevils. We like the Evil Knievels. We like the Danny Ways, Tony Hawks. We like the rough guys. We like the John Rockers. Billy the Kid killed people for no reason. He did. There's a cool documentary on Billy the Kid. I think it's on Netflix. Check it out. It's very interesting. The Cray twins from East London. Yes. What about Jack the Ripper? That's more of a mystery than anything, but he's still alive in everyone's minds. James Bond knew how to be bad to women, and yet he got them. Something about James Bond. Don Draper from Mad Men, right? These guys eventually die or go to jail. The women don't care about that part. Nope. No, they don't. And I think there's something about these outlaws in their mind where they don't care if they die or go to jail. You know, they just have that. They don't give any fucks. D.B. Cooper is my favorite modern outlaw. Me too. Jumping over Pacific Northwest. About in the 80s, somebody found a stack of bills, apparently that were his. I'm still fascinated by that mystery and who he was. Some people say he worked at Boeing. He was a paramilitary guy in the war. And who knows if he survived that fall or if he went on to live. There's a couple theories, but every November, Thanksgiving, D.B. Cooper comes out. I do like me some D.B. Cooper, Mr. Trueblood. Raymond Gross, wife, not wolf. Wife, not, or are you thinking wife, not woke? My grandmother's father rode with Jesse James, no bullshit. Have plenty of stories, and everyone around my area knows it too. Small place. Interesting. That'd be cool to hear her stories about that. I wonder if did you see the Brad Pitt movie with the assassination of Jesse James? Will Smith is not an outlaw. No, he's not. No, he's not. Matt Downer, Jesse James, my favorite outlaw. I think he's the most popular one. My brothers, we can be again. Have a nice day. Good to see you. Jack left town. Jaron Markel, what's up, brother? Good to have you. There's an outlaw right there. Rumor has it that Jack the Ripper ended up here in Chicago. There's a trail of bodies leading to the World's Fair here. Ooh, quite interesting. Quite interesting. And the fascination with serial killers, you know, true crime. In terms of countries, let's be honest, the US, China, and Russia are all jerks. And look at who's winning. It ain't US, is it? The last member of the Barrow Gang died as late as 1988. Blanche Barrow. Interesting. How about Al Capone? He was out in Ogden, Utah during the Valentine Day Massacre. In fact, up on 25th Street, he stayed. There's a bunch of old brothels, and 25th Street in Ogden is crazy because it's literally haunted. There's stories of ghosts. There were brothels. If you didn't pay your brothel bill, the madame would kick the guys out of the third floor, and they'd fall to their deaths. Really crazy stuff. And then an hour away is what's the salon called? Shooting Star Saloon, which is the oldest running saloon west of the Mississippi, and it never shut down during Prohibition. It's been around since 1870, but apparently Al Capone went out there, and it was validated that he was here during that February 14th massacre. So interesting stuff. Chicago's got a bunch of history with outlaws. Who else was in Chicago? Who is that? Johnny Depp did a film on an outlaw. Can't remember the name of that. Will Smith and Denzel are both simps. Yes, sure are. Charles Manson. There's another one. Now, are you guys seeing the connection between female nature and these crazy outlaws? The liberal agenda creates nice guys. Nice guy equals weak and agreeable. Matthias. Well said, brother. Sigma. Rodin. Good evening to you. Polska Bob. Cappy is live. Quit waffling. Go troll him. That whole Will Simp and Jadis, I smell a celebrity death. The death will affect everyone when their agenda becomes more prevalent. Celebrity death makes that shiat stick. I agree. What's up, guys? Glad to be part of this. Is Marshall. Good to have you. Marshall, a new subscriber. Appreciate you guys being here. Ted Bundy. Women even loved Ted Bundy while he was killing women. Outside of their psychopathness, there's something that connects women to these crazy outlaws. Maybe it's the dark area of their psyche that is attracted to it. Who knows? Depp played Whitey Bulger. That's right. But I think he played another one too. There's another movie with him. I'll have to find out. Black Mass was excellent. Yes. Donnie Brasco. Iron Wolf in the house. Donnie Brasco was good with Johnny Depp. Black Bart. What about the Pirates? Right? The Pirates out there. Captain Kidd. There's women who meet and marry inmates in prison. Yep, talked about that. They marry killers. I think Scott Peterson, the one that deleted his wife in the Bay Area, I don't know, 15 years ago, because he had a mistress, that he gets hundreds, if not thousands, of letters from women that want to marry him. Go figure. No, actually, I didn't see that. I'm going to have to check it out for sure. I'll tell a couple stories one day. I got a good saloon story. He was definitely a bad dude. Cut a man's ear clean off one night. Why do we like to hear stories of badasses that beat the shit out of people? T Fitz, man, that does the red pill ring. Ring is doing a great book about how the legal system turned men into outlaws. Interesting. Very interesting, T Fitz. Original sauce. Black Mass sucked. Ted Bundy was not a real serial killer, he was just clowning around. He was an interesting dude. He was out here about 6 miles in Viewmont, and that was the last known potential abduction, I believe, of Ted Bundy. but she got away. The Donnie Brasco book is brilliant. I'll have to check that out. Stockholm Syndrome, a condition in which hostages develop a psychological bond with their captors. A good example is Patty Davis and the Black Panthers. Well said. She became attracted to them. Wait, I'd love to see if there's if any like scientist or psychologist has done a connection between why women love killers. Like what is it about them? Outside of trying to fix a broken boy, is there something within a woman's psyche that's attracted to the darkness of that dude? That would be really fascinating. Raymond Gross, women that like killers are effed up. Son of Sam. Wasn't he out in New York? John Boston, hello, Rad, another live stream. Yeah, I just thought I'd jump on, John. John Boston, the old outlaw in Boston, is in the house. Good to have you. Patty Hearst, yeah, the Hearst Publishing and Media Empire. Get this, my public defender that kept me out of jail is a 1%er in an outlaw biker gang called the Iron Coffins. Interesting. The Iron Coffins. I love stories about outlaws. I love watching documentaries on these guys that are con men. I like to learn about what hackers, that go in and hack computer systems. Counterfeiters. I was into people that counterfeit dollars, and I watched this dude could literally make with different inks and like real like $100 bills that were like people could not identify. They finally got them, but fascinating guys that are just rule breakers. There's something about them. The Catch Me If You Can guy, those type of movies. There's just something about it. It's not boring. Super chat, Cappy. Why do you hate Minnesota so much? He hates that state. Should spin him up good. Totally worth two. David Barkowitz, the son of Sam. That's right. Mac the Knife, Big M. Jenny on Forrest Gump was with the Black Panthers and liked to have her boyfriend beat her up. Then Forrest would almost get killed defending Jenny. Death by simp, right? Females like the thought of possibly getting killed in the adventure of changing him. Then when they change him, they resent him and then move on to some other fixable man. Very well said. Very well said. And yet all these women pick the bad boys. And then they complain. But there's just something within the female psyche that is attracted to the outlaw. All the women in the 70s like Fonzie. Damn right they did. Fonzie was the true playa. He was definitely the alpha bad boy. Actually, Happy Days, if you look at it, has a lot of it. Yeah, Fonzie had a little blue pill in him, but he never said, he'd say, I love you. He could never say, I love you. He got married to Pinky Tuscadero, right? But for the most part, you could see, a bad boy in him. Where it was Richie, he was too nice. But Richie had to get a girlfriend, and Fonzie helped Richie to get some game, right? Doc Holliday. There you go. There's some of those outlaws and gangsters. They're still in our, they're in our heads and our myth and everything. And women are attracted to the bad boys. It's as simple as that. They're never forgotten, ever. So if you're going out, if you know a gal who had a bad boy, most likely, she's probably tatted up or pierced up. She's, drinks a ton. Her first boyfriend might have been, most likely was a bad boy. And you have no chance if you're a good dude. The alpha widow is a real syndrome. Women get so tired of the jerks and then they just want a nice guy. And that's you. And then once she gets a nice guy, they get bored and uncomfortable because now they seek the bad boy. They want the alpha and beta in one, but that person doesn't exist. Fonzie did keep him. Females love dangerous situation. When she gets cheated on, gets mad, emotions flowing, and while that's happening, she absolutely loves it. She knows good and well the type of guy he is. They choose the guy. It's not like they're forced to choose him. They choose him. We're all outlaws at heart. It's a man's true nature to break the rules. Society forces us to be domesticated and obedient. I think you're right, Be Free Asia. Women will forget a nice guy in a day. She'll never forget a bad boy. Just like we'll never forget Jesse James, Billy the Kid, Cherokee Bill, Pee Wee Herman. Hopefully you were listening. Do you think the 2% are also attracted to bad boys? I think the 2% are attracted to strength and leaders with a little edge. I think if you're strong and a leader, you still have a little bit of edge daredevil to you. You're willing to take risks. It might be calculated risks, but yeah. They're less attracted to the drug dealers and the alcoholics and the felons and the guys in jail. I see it all the time. These girls around here riding with these nobodies get stuck with all the kids and want to switch up. They've had enough adventure. No, thank you. Now it happens. Definitely happens. Alexander Grace is a podcast that is science that backs the bad boy issue. Interesting. I need to check that out. Alexander Grace. Yeah, I'm fascinated by what's going on. Scotty Side from Beaverton. Go get a Beaverton subs for me. 2-car. Good to see Scotty. Check out Scotty's channel. Females would rather put themselves, their image, and their kids' life in danger for a fantasy throw in the sack with a murderer, just as long as he's over 6 foot, has a 6-pack, and makes 6 figures. Oh, he's got to be gorgeous. The Dark Triad. There you go. There you go. I've heard about that. I don't know much about that, but I know about that philosophy. Tom Bell, first outlaw to organize a stagecoach robbery. Well, ride shotgun, right? That's where it comes from. E says, rad with church on Sunday. There you go. Thanks to the wrenches in here. So there you have it. There's countless stories and comparisons and similarities between bad boys and women and bad boys that are never forgotten in our modern day world. What about, there's some guy right now, the guy that went and did Into the Wild, Alexander Supertramp. Remember? He burned all his money in Atlanta and then hitchhiked all the way to Alaska and died in that bus. Different, edgy. People remember that. You know, they made a book about it. Now, regardless, he call him an idiot or whatnot, he had that outlaw type of style to go and do that. So whoever said that, Be Free Asia, we do have within our own mentalities the desire, we have an inner outlaw in them. And I think that's what keeps guys moving ahead. I think to be red pill, you have to be sort of an outlaw, right? You're not going along with modern day thinking that you should run off and get married and have kids and being part of the threesome of the state. So there we go. Now we're in the outlaw. Being red pill is truly an outlaw because we're deciding not to play in the system anymore. What else we got? These women, John Boston says, these women want to divorce their man and blow up their families and then jump to the front of the line and compete with women at the junior college. Agree. T. Fitz agrees with that as well. Jerome Markel says, I made a fake dating profile. He was 6'4", 6 foot, 6-pack, 50-year-old fitness trainer, entrepreneur, body of a god. He's coming off of a 20-year federal. I'd love to see I remember a long time ago, I put this fake dating profile up, maybe 6 years, and it was like one picture. It wasn't even me. And I put broken and dangerous or something. I had like 15 gals. Why are you broken? What can I do to help? And it was it was an experiment of this badass boy that's like, I'm broken, never fixable. And it's like literally, it stuck on them really quick, and they were texting me and trying to meet up with me. This one gal was French, and she's like, I'm from France. And she wanted to fix me. So there you go. The Inner Outlaw, good title for a book. Well said. You got to be a little bit, we're outlaws. We're bucking the system, right? Pedro Valentin is in the house. Good to see you. Never again to cohabitate or marriage. Me too, Raymond. That would be awesome. And then do a video of the hits you get. You should. We should. We're Americans. We're rebels at heart. I wasn't born here, but I've felt the rebel nature all my life. That was always me. I always broke the rules. Not that bad, but it is what it is. We all looked in second grade at our neighbors, at our classmates next to us, seeing if they spelled the word right, because we didn't know how to spell it. I remember in first grade, my teacher had a jar of Hershey Kisses, and I went in and I ate them all, and I got in trouble, and they took me to the principal's office, and I got scared of the principal and so forth because I ate a Hershey's Kisses. But I learned a big lesson then. We all have broken some sort of rule. A friend of mine who uses dating sites finds women that we both know. Once in a while, there's a married woman saying she is looking for new friends. There you go. There you go. AKS in the house, Jesse James and his sidekick. Apparently, when Jesse James died, they had his body laid out for people to view and things like that. And a guy wanted to lease his body and go on nationwide freak show with it to show everybody, charge 25 cents to view him or whatnot. They never allowed that, but that's how infamous this dude was. All over the world, in England, Africa, South America, they knew when Jesse James died. Tom Z. Wonderful, Rad, gentlemen, good evening to you, brother. What did Polska say? We're all Americans, rebels at heart. No waffling. That's what Polska likes to say. I took a bag of cereal right off my teacher's table. Oh, that shit. There you go. Scotty side, what's happening? What has happened with Scotty? The characters of Tombstone are somewhat famous and known also. Well said. Well said. AKS. His family shot him in the back when he got up to dust a painting. My DNA shows a direct bloodline. Interesting. Greetings, everyone. Let's smash the like button for the homie, Mr. Giga Chad Rad. Everybody, I want to welcome FJT to the channel. He is our token Tyrone, massive Chad. And if you don't believe me, go to his channel and listen to all the voicemails he gets from the Alpha Widows. I got over 235 messages. Everybody makes mistakes as long as you learn from them. You go. Gotta admit it, I'm quite intrigued. I've always had fantasies of being blanked by a bad boy. Apparently, it's women have that fantasy. 70% of women have had that fantasy. How did James die? He was shot, I think, by somebody in his own that knew him. 10 grand is how much he is what the governor of Missouri paid to have Jesse James killed. The assassination. which was, if you look up 10 grand in 1882 was when he died, is 278,000 today. There you go. John Markell, last day of jury duty. Yeah, we'll have to hear about that. I am me. It's what makes me an outlaw. Maybe, says Jack Left Town. Good to have you in here. We're all inner outlaws. I think inner outlaws is how we stay alive. We keep going. We keep trying new things. That's right, daring ourselves, pushing ourselves. That's all the whole free agent lifestyle. It's men going their own way. It's being the captain of your ship, trying new things, bucking the system. They don't remember the good guys, or they don't remember the nice guys. They remember the bad boys. When was the last time we made a shrine to an accountant that prevented a company from going under? They don't exist. They don't exist. Michael J says, great to be here. Missed yesterday with Jonathan. Just finished watching. It's a classic. Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks, brother. Yeah, Jonathan, a good dude. Check out his channel as well. Michael J, where are you from? I hate jury duty, says FJT. SCE says Jesse James wasn't shot dead. Do you think he was poisoned? Jesse James did some jail time, to my knowledge. He was a thug. Raymond Gross, 51-year-old, just started repelling. Okay, gotcha. Good. Rappelling down the mountainside. That'll keep you young and fit. Real men wear black because white is wimpy and doesn't come clean. Real men wear black. I do like black. You better go or pay $2,000 and go to jail. You'll enjoy the experience and you'll get paid. You get $12 a day, right? Michael J, we got another Chicagoite. Polska's out of Chicago. MGTOW Cowboys out of Chicago. Good to have you. We're trying to put up a meet and greet or meet up in June. I think Polska said the Ukraine Village in Chicago. Jerome Markell, Bonnie and Clyde. There you go. There you go. You have a good temper for this, brother. Trying new things that tax my body to the limit. That's the key, man. Outlaw. And anything you do. Taking a risk. Moving forward with the red pill. I actually do want to experience it. It's my first time. Jesse James was Clintoned. Interesting. So you think he wasn't shot, but he was maybe Breitbarted? SCE in the building. Oh, there you go. Mike P getting his first motorcycle. Good for you, brother. There's an outlaw. Put on some leather. Put on some leather. Scotty Side says, I got time off for meetup. I'm looking forward to it. There you go. You've been there 6 days. You got $40. It's enough to take a lady out on a date. Is that Tom Likas says that? SCE, Pat Garrett brought in somebody, but it wasn't Jesse James. Most likely a buddy from the Johnson County War. Okay. Interesting. So you don't think he was dead. There is actually, I did hear that he did survive. And yeah, I've got to rethink that and reread about that. This is in Brooklyn. The pay may be different in other states. I think it's $12 or $14 a day in Utah. Been watching food channels and also this guy called Liver King. Interesting. Honda CBR 1000. Oh, there you go. I had a Honda, I had 2 of them. Everyone loved Han Solo, not Luke Skywalker. SEO Social. Well said. Han Solo. Luke was the good guy, wasn't he? Great stream with you and Hammerhand. Thanks, brother. He's a good dude. Hammer lays it down. He's a smart cookie. T-Fit says, wasn't Pat Garrett the man that got Billy the Kid? I think you're right. It was the governor of Missouri. If Billy the Kid, do you think? Who knows? I mean, they're legends, right? Butch Cassidy grew up 3 hours from me in Utah, down in southern Utah. First bank he robbed was up in Montpelier, Idaho, about 3 hours from here. Luke ended up being a whiny bitch and ran away to hide. There you go. He ran to the he was the last Jedi in the last, 2 Star Wars ago, or the last one? SC says he may have been. Interesting. But the dirty little coward who shot Mr. Howard has laid poor Jesse in his grave, from a famous 19th century folk song, Gerald Montagna. Who knows? They didn't have DNA testing back then. He was dead on the spot, I believe. You think people with that kind of money would take any chance on his survival? Well, he did go out with his brother Frank to Nashville, and he went by the name B.J. Woodson for some time, and then he got antsy. He had 2 kids. Then he got antsy and wanted to get back in the game. He got bored of the nice guy life. Rebel Hamster texted me. He's in for the meetup. There you go. I'm getting 40 a day. Been there for 6 days. Wyatt Earp murdered Johnny Ringo and had it labeled a suicide. You never know. You never know, right? What you know about Tombstone? I've just seen the movie. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. There you go. Raymond Gross says, grew up in Idaho and Utah, Cedar City. Yep. Cedar City. Right before St. George. Bob Ford supposedly shot Jesse James. Correct. Supposedly. Was that him laying in a coffin? I think it was Doc Holliday married Johnny Ringo. I'm looking forward to seeing all you guys together on a live stream in Chicago. There you go. What is it? I think it was Doc Holliday killed Johnny Ringo. Okay, I got it. But that's the deal. I mean, we remember the bad boys. The women remember the bad boys. They remember the FJTs. And then they send crazy voicemails. They're alpha widows. This is real. Clint Eastwood got so much jail. Kelly Pickler is in love with him. She is a country girl hottie. Kelly Pickler is pretty hot. Wasn't she on American Idol? I think it was Doc Holliday that killed. There you go. Rad, much respect for not monetizing. You do a real MVP. Cheers from Denmark. Cheers to you, Jacob, for being here again. You've been in a few times. Well, people talk about it. And look, I'm not hating on anyone that takes donations. I think those that don't ask for them, and say, hey, if somebody wants to donate, I just say, I don't want anything to do with that. Number one, I don't need it. I truly like to just talk and read comments and listen to other people's experience and try to do more collaborations to help dudes. I wish I had this, back when I was engaged or dating. I wish I knew this information. So those that are growing up with these channels and realize that, hey, they are their best alternative in life. They're the only ones that can validate themselves. They shouldn't go out and get married and have kids in this climate. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm saying they shouldn't do that because it's stacked against you. Or to vet it extremely careful, like Jonathan talked about. But appreciate you being here. JR back. Good to see JR. Check out JR's channel. Matt Downer, be like Easy Rider, ride the road without a care. Easy Rider, back with what the hell was his name? Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper. In the hood today, 70% of births are sired by only 30% of the men. Presumably those are the drug lords and gangsters. Yep, wouldn't doubt it. T. Fitz, Rollo introduced me to the term alpha widow, seen it since, absolutely legit. You can never compare to the Chad that woman was with. She'll never, ever, you'll never be on her pedestal. When I make it rich in crypto, I'll definitely donate. My experience, get FU money and bang multiple hookers for under $1,000 a day. Whatever brings you peace, quiet, and freedom. Joe Tomanek, am new to this red pill mindset, still miss having a girl around sometimes. Well, it's going to take you some time, my friend, to understand the fantasy is not the reality, and that when you're lonely, you're not working on yourself. But good to have you. Where are you from? Thanks for that. Has helped me, Rad. I think it helps us all. Feminism gets monetized to feed the machinery of lies. Men voluntarily contribute to the truth. Well said, SCE. I don't mind people taking donation. I just don't like it when people beg or trash their subscribers for not donating. There was one content creator I used to listen to, but every day it was like he was pushing for money. Like, I need you guys to donate. He would say that. I don't know. Look, I'm not slating people and hating on them. That's not my style. Not my style. I like to contribute and I like to earn based on my efforts. I'll be in a good place when I spend $1,000 and it wouldn't faze me at all. Nat Downer said it started with The Pusher by Steppenwolf. There you go. Steppenwolf. I haven't listened to Steppenwolf for a while. I'll have to check them out again. So that's, yeah, you see a lot of guys that, and I don't harp on folks that spend hours and hours of podcasting and streaming. Greg Adams, 30 hours a week, if not more, just Monday through Friday, and all the other channels and the books he wrote. It's not easy to write a book. I've been trying and trying and trying. I'm going to have something soon. It'll be something small based on Rad's principles, and it'll be for free. Download the PDF. It's yours. But those guys deserve that. That's their job. That's what they do. But, I never want to get to that point. I don't want to be, I want a boutique group of folks that we share experiences with, and simple as that. Whatever helps you helps me, and vice versa. Again, everyone that has a story and experience needs to have a channel. It doesn't matter. Say whatever you need. Just be authentic. I'll be in a good place. I already read that. D-Man Fitty. Less is definitely more. Simplify your life, guys. Another outlaw philosophy. Remember, government wants you in debt. Companies want you in debt. It's just another form of servitude. So when you go against that and you simplify it and you get out of debt, they don't have control over you. When you're in debt, there's control all over you. It stresses you out. People die younger when they're saddled with debt. Be an outlaw and don't get into debt. Be an outlaw and do things that test you. See you later, Polska. Quit waffling. So are you saying I should put out content? Absolutely. If you put out content and get a channel, I'll shout out to your channel. And everybody here will subscribe. The more voices, the better. Because YouTube's got its algorithm. It might show up in some kid. Most people that come to the red pill find it because they're trying to get their ex back. They wonder what they did wrong. How come she doesn't love me anymore? They type that shit in. And they come to red pill channels and they watch something about some guy that went through a divorce. They're going through a divorce and, oh my gosh, that's exactly how I feel. And then it leads to another channel. And sooner or later, they wise up and they break out of the fantasy and they realize the reality and they can move forward. Now, there's a lot of guys that can't do this. They can't move forward. It's too hard. You have to change complete paradigm shift. Joe says, New York, your videos saved me through a breakup. So save me from a break. Yeah, when you had a breakup. There you go. Appreciate it. I mean, Big John was my savior. Big John, Jaded Creep, Sandman, who else? Paul Proteus, old school Barbarossa. So we help each other. And the next crop are going to be helping others. We are the black sheep of society, says Whirlwind MGTOW. The pariahs, embrace it. Why would you try to fit into a society that is terminally ill? Ain't that the truth, brother? Good to have you. Your ex doesn't love you because she's a banana gobbler. Banana gobbling for 300 Trebek. I hit the number 2 topic of the civil rights law with the police are not your friends. Was pretty stoked about that. Need to put the ebook on my site for free. You're right. Now, let's check it out. If you have a site, T-Fits has a site. I'm seriously thinking making some content, not as much as Rad, Hammer, and others. I do leave lots of comments. So, you're very vocal. And you definitely bring a lot of experience, Jerron. But yeah, even you having a channel would be great. Red Pill Blues. I mean, at some point, you just start your message, you begin to refine your message and things. You learn more about life and the red pill and your direction, the more content you make. Most go looking for PUA advice to get the girl back and wind up getting together with me. Yep. Well said, brother. Jaded Creep had some good content. Yep. Don't make a person the main focus of your life. Be aware that things can end at any time. It works both ways, to be fair. Men can do the dirty on women, too. Teddy Boy Smith, good to have you from the UK. John Markell, Tom Likas, red pilled me big time. Well, I think he basically pulled the covers back and said, look, guys, he basically did an expose on female nature. He was definitely ahead of his time. Reality is self-respect and oneness. Never rely on anyone else to make you happy. That is a red pill principle right there. Never rely on anybody financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, or physically, but yourself. Sunrise Hoodie, yeah, he's good. He's a youngster. Me and Timmy Kramer were talking about him last night. Thanks for putting that channel out, D-Man, to T-Fits' channel. Status host, the fact that girls will make me wait longer than a celebrity kind of kills the game for me. AKS. Got to do a stream sometime. What's your opinion on husbands who cheat on their wife? I'm not a fan of cheating. I think it's wrong, especially in marriage. And, cheating in marriage is not right. You could potentially be deleted if you cheat on with somebody, especially if that person's married. SCE, it's a shame that he went full retard. He did. He went very liberal, which to me, guys, weak men vote liberal. Strong men are conservative because strong men want to create and not take. MGTOW's freedom is a modern outlaw in my book. Oh, hell yeah. Big John. Now he's doing the prepared mind. He bugged out, built a shack in the middle of somewhere. Absolute outlaw. People remember him. I really have no problem with cops. Never been in a situation where a cop has abused his power. I still have respect. I never resisted or committed a crime. Yeah, you won't have any issues if you don't do that, right? Tom probably sold his soul. Or he's lost a ton of testosterone. Something happened. I've seen legit dudes sell their souls. Even Emperor Trump caved in and promoted the Jim Jones. Well, he did. He did push, There's definitely, but he was a hell of a lot stronger than what we got now. You guys have been great. Remember, embrace your inner outlaw. Remember why bad boys like Jesse James are remembered and never forgotten. It's the nice guys that are always forgotten. Till next time, rebel against defeat, chase excellence, masculinity, men first.